All right, if you love scent, you've come to the right place because we have a lot. We have a lot to get through here today. I'm gonna try to be brief, yet descriptive and informative. We'll see how I do. Let me know in the comments down below. But if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist and fragrance nerd. And here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Today, we are gonna be dipping into scents from 2 different brands. After my first Dua haul and review, you all seemed very excited to know that I had done another order, and I told you that I would sit with those for a bit and I would come back with a review. And it has been longer than a bit, but I am here today to do that. I also thought that today would be a good time to talk to you about a brand that I had never tried before. I had actually never heard of this small indie brand until Deandra from Divina had been going over their body mists on her YouTube channel and talking about some of the scents. And I was like, well, it's all downhill from here. I'm sure I have to try some things from Dirty Soul Soap Company. And they, a couple months ago now, had a sale where they were sort of doing a clearance of some scents that they weren't going to be doing anymore, and they were offering them at a great deal as an eau de parfum. And then they also have body sprays, they have body care and everything. Now, some of these are inspired by scents. Some of them, I believe, are their own blends. They have everything from Bath and Body Works dupes to designer inspired by dupes. I mean, so many different scents. And I'm gonna briefly talk about the ones that you can't even get anymore, just to give you a little idea of maybe the notes that they have, because they have quite a few, and we're gonna talk about those as well. So if you are here for one or the other, you don't want to stick around for both, I'll make sure to have chapters linked down below, but I just thought this would be a great time to be able to showcase both. All right, without further ado, we're gonna start out with the Dirty Soul Soap Company. Again, I had found this through Deandra. She was doing a live, I believe, on her channel, and I was like, uh-oh. Now, I will say I am not usually a body mist person. I want something that has more concentration, more lasting power. Really, the time that I would use a body spray is like out of the shower at night, if I still just want a little bit of scent, maybe before bed, because I know, really I'm only gonna need to enjoy it for a little while anyway, because hopefully I'll be asleep. I do think that they can also be fun to layer with, just to kind of create your own concoction, or in the summertime, if you're gonna be outside and it's super hot, something with like a lower fragrance concentration can be nice, so you don't just like choke out everyone around you. But that being said, I did order quite a few things. They have a lot. They have a lot of things. I've noticed that I feel like they have a lot of Bath and Body Works dupes, as I'd said, and a lot of more like gourmand, fruity, sweet candy type of vibes. Just kind of going through here, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a lot of sweeter scents. That being said, I did get a couple that I would not necessarily say are sweet, so we're gonna go over that. A couple of the things that really intrigued me, I have been on the hunt for a cola type scent. I know that there are a couple out there. I have tried a couple. I've tried Tonka Cola. I believe that's the Mancera, and that one just is the Tonka in there. It's just too powdery. I'm like, I just literally want a cola scent. So when I saw that this company was doing not only cola, but also a root beer, I was like, this sounds like my dreams come true. So I put those on my wish list. And then, like I said, when they were doing this clearance sale, I was like, this is the perfect time to try some of these. I was very excited to give this a go. They were also doing a sale at the time. I'm gonna start with the body sprays, and then we will move into the extrait de parfum. I am a little bit curious because, like I'd mentioned, some of these I got during this like clearance sale that they were having, but it looks like some of the ones that I got during that sale are still available. So I'm gonna give you a review of all of these scents in case there's something that sort of like is floating your boat. Okay, so anyway, we're gonna start out with, let's talk about the cola soda and the root beer. So this is, by the way, what the packaging of these look like. The extrait de parfum come in the same similar packaging. I just got larger sizes. So the notes are listed on the back, and I want to also make note that these are made without phthalates, parabens, or sulfates, if that is something that you are looking to avoid. Let's start out with cola soda. Now, I do believe that this is just listed as fizzy cola soda in the fragrance notes. I don't think this is duping anything. There is something to this. It's fun, it's nostalgic, but here's the thing, and I was telling my friend Jody this. Okay. And please, this is probably going to be a weird way to start out this video. So I used to ride the bus as a kid to school, and there is something about this at first. When I spray this on, there's an underlying note of, and I don't know how to explain this, if someone on the bus would get sick, the bus driver would bring back this like sawdust type stuff that had the scent to it. And I'm assuming it's kind of like cinnamon or clove or something, but it was obviously supposed to cover up the scent that you can imagine would happen in an enclosed bus. And there is something to the burst at the beginning of this that reminds me of that. It doesn't remind me of like people getting ill. It just reminds me of that little sawdust stuff. But I was like, that's an interesting vibe. I like this. It's fun. I think it's a little spicier than regular cola. Like this is definitely has more of a punch than your average cola. It's also not quite as sweet, which I would prefer. I don't want something sickly sweet. Now, I will say that I didn't find, this is, by the way, the Perfume Mist, and this is the 2.5 ounce. I didn't find this to be overly long lasting. I mean, it's a Perfume Mist, right? So this is something that is perfect for those times where I just want something to layer with a little bit. If I'm looking just for like a fun burst of fragrance, or I'm looking to freshen up. This is a fun one. It's nice. It just doesn't quite hit that cola on the head for me. It's a little bit more spiced. And obviously that scent memory is a little bit different. Now I will say also, by the way, in case you were curious, the full size of this Perfume Mist would be $8. If you go for the 4 ounce, you're going to get it for $14, which is actually pretty good. That's this size right here, by the way. And then the X-rated Perfume, if you did 2.5 ounces, which I think is actually, you know, a really good bit, that would be $30 at full price. So I just wanted to run down through some of the prices for you there. So this is a fun one. It was on sale when I got it. I think it was like $6 or somewhere around there. So definitely a fun and nostalgic one. Different nostalgia than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so the root beer. So this one definitely has more of that, like, oh, this is root beer vibes. So the fragrance notes in this one are root beer, vanilla ice cream, cinnamon, and clove. So it definitely is more root beer floaty. You do get that little bit of creaminess of the ice cream, but it's not like overly vanillic. Luckily, I don't get too much clove from this. It gets a little bit spicy, but I actually find the cola soda to be more spicy. This just has that interesting thing. By the way, did you know that root beer has wintergreen in it? Yes, it has like mint in it. I was reading online sometime and someone was like, once you know that root beer has mint in it, you're never going to be able to look back. And I was like, oh yeah. So it's very interesting. This is a fun one. Again, I would say you're going to get like 2 to 3 hours out of these fragrance mists. You know, it's definitely just more, which I think that is probably about the same as like a Bath and Body Works or something like that. I will also say though, these to me don't have that weird thing, that weird chemical thing that sometimes the Bath and Body Works have as like an undertone. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there is something that is more of that synthetic scent that you get from most of those body sprays that I haven't really picked up from most of these, and I really appreciate that. All right, moving into one that really wasn't my jam. This is probably my least favorite from the set. I don't know. We've got a tie here for different reasons though. But I picked up Lemon Pound Cake. Now I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a dupe. It doesn't say in the description. I don't think that this is supposed to be something like Acro Bake. I think it might be duping a Bath and Body Works scent. So the notes in this are buttery pound cake, fresh lemon zest, and sugary icing. So the website says enriched buttery pound cake laced with fresh grated lemon zest and drizzled with sugary icing. Just yummy. So I was talking in a recent fragrance video about how I love Acro Bake, surprisingly, because that citrus burst at the front and then that like, I like the creaminess. I like the vanillic feel of that. It just doesn't last that long. Now, I don't think that this is necessarily supposed to be a dupe for that, but it's kind of along the vibes of what I was hoping. This to me does not smell like pound cake with lemon. It honestly smells like lemon poppy seed muffins. And you might be like, what's the difference? I think there's a difference. It's a little too baked goodsy for me. It also smells a little bit like Fruit Loops. That might be a little closer. It's definitely more of that frosted. I mean, it says it's going to be frosted. It's a little bit more desserty than I was hoping for. And that sounds silly. It's pound cake. I know it was going to be desserty. I just didn't quite, I don't know. I don't know what it was. It was a miss for me. That could be on me. I have a friend that I'm passing this one along to, so that is totally fine. It was a nice try, but it just isn't hitting home for me. Okay, so the next one that I got, again, is a Perfume mist. I'm gonna go through all my Perfume mists first. After this one, we have two that are supposed to be like designer brand dupes. So this is honey. And yes, that is all we have here. It's just honey. This does say it's sweet honey and a hint of toasted oats. This smells so good. I love honey. I love the taste of honey. I love the smell of honey. I love scents that have honey in them, and I thought that this would be a great way to layer and add honey to something like honey and vanilla, honey and raspberry. I thought this would be a good way to sweeten up scents that I feel like are maybe a little too spicy, a little too strong, without being cotton candy. You know I don't like that kind of sweet. This definitely has that richness. The oatiness in here, like when they're saying a hint of oats, to me it just softens it. It like grounds it a little bit. I'm not smelling, it doesn't smell like oatmeal to me. You know, it's not like something I'm gonna like eat in the morning with a spoon. It's still just like rich, drippy, drizzly. I like this. Again, it was just meant to be a layerer for me. And I'm glad that I got this one. Okay, so now the two scents that I got to be dupes. The first one is You, which is supposed to be a dupe of Glossier You, which I have right here. I've talked about this one on my channel quite a bit. I really love this one. Now the notes you're gonna see in here are iris, powder, musk, and cashmeran. And that is probably where this one is a little bit of, I don't wanna say it's a miss. It might be inspired by, but it is definitely not a dupe. I actually sprayed it right here. There is something to the original. The original has pink pepper, and I don't get that out of this. They're both nice. There's just something about the original that is, it's just a little bit better. I don't know what it is. I'm also obviously comparing a fragrance mist to an eau de parfum or an eau de toilette. I'm actually not quite sure. What do they say that this one is? It doesn't say here. It's nice. It's very much something that I will put on before I go to bed, which is a lot of times the way that I use the original. It's that fresh out of the shower. This is also going to be really good to layer with to like soften things out. This one is just a little bit more soapy and a little bit less skin scenty, if that makes sense. I'm glad to have it. I was actually kind of like, ooh, if this is like a really good dupe, that's really great because I'm running not low, but I've actually got a good dent in that bottle. And I was like, maybe I found a replacement. No, it's not a replacement. It's a good addition, but it's not a replacement. So while it's not necessarily a disappointment, it's just not something that's going to be displacing my Glossier You. So good, but not as good as the original. All right, we also have one that everyone seems to be making a dupe for now, Pistachio Gelato. As you'd imagine, this is inspired by Kayali's Yum Pistachio Gelato. So this one, you know what? This one is fairly close. I don't have Yum Pistachio Gelato. I have smelled it before. This one is much closer. You all know that I have said before that I really like Yum Pistachio Gelato, but it isn't what I was thinking it was going to be. So the notes in this are rich pistachio, hazelnut, rum, whipped cream, marshmallow, and cotton candy. So you definitely get that nuttiness, you get that sweetness, you get that almost, I get a little bit of soapiness in here. But in my Middle Eastern fragrances haul, when I talked about hair pistachio, this is more along those lines. It's not as strong. Again, this is a Perfume mist. It's not an eau de parfum. It's not quite as strong, but it has more of that nuttiness than the Kayali version. It's not as soapy. It has a little bit of that, but it's not quite there. So if you wanted something that's a little nuttier, this one might be nice. If you want something to be able to like freshen up with or layer, this might be another nice one to try. I'm glad to have this one. I really am. And so again, I mean, even if you were to get the 4 ounce of the X-rated Perfume, that would run you $50 at full price. So you'd get this much for $50, which isn't like the 3-ounce KLE, probably like 120, 150, I don't even know. Now, also to make a note, I do want to say that because you are looking at a smaller business here, I would imagine that they are doing a lot of pours as orders are coming in. So this is, again, another time that you might want to let your scents macerate. So these have all been macerating for a while. I actually think that a couple of these have benefited from that. Some of them I haven't noticed that big of a difference, but it could be something that they've had on hand for a while as well. So I do just want to make a note of that. So now moving into the X-rated perfumes that I had gotten. Again, I have 4 here, and I believe that at least 3 of these are probably Bath & Body Works dupes. So let's go into this first one. This is the one that I've been waving around as I've been showing you the 4-ounce size. This is Blackberry and Tea Leaves, and this one is, they say, compared to Blackberry and Tea Leaves by Bath & Body Works. I think a lot of these scents are named very close to the originals. So this one has wild blackberries, bramble tea leaves, sweet orange, and vanilla. Honestly, this smells to me like sitting down to a hot cup of herbal fruity tea at night. Like, it definitely has, I smell those tea leaves, I get the blackberries. This is very cozy, very comforting. I am going to enjoy this one this fall and this winter. I'm definitely going to have fun like mixing it up with other scents on its own. And I honestly don't know that I've worn this on its own because I picked these up at a time of year where it's like, this isn't springy, this isn't summery, this is definitely like fall vibes to me. On its own, it might be a little too candle-y, you know, when you're like, oh, this is sort of like a room spray or a candle, but it's maybe not a fragrance I'd want to wear. But I don't know. I mean, as I'm saying that, I could get the vibes of this. There's just something to sitting down to a cup of cozy tea at night, something that's either spicy or has like a rich fruitiness. It's just so comforting, and I get that from this. So I'm very happy to have this one. It is still available. I think that they actually still have some of these that they are clearancing out of, still available for the 4 ounces of the EDP for $14, y'all, $14. So you might want to take a peek and see. I just sent a note to them through Instagram to double check, but if they are, I will let you know right here. Okay, so $14 for this, and I am very happy to have this one. This one is so cozy and so yummy. Very, very excited. All right, so here's another one that is still listed as available. This is Apple and Honey. Yo, it's honey, it's apple. How could I not? So this says Radiant Florals, Juicy Apple, Pink Currant, and Boysenberry. This is so nice. This is so nice. I get, the honey is pretty soft in this. I'm getting like freshly juiced apple, so it's not spicy apple. That is one thing I do not like. I love apple, but I don't want apple cinnamon or apple spice. Like in a candle for like cozy fall vibes, maybe on my skin, no thank you. I do not need to smell like an apple pie. This definitely is fresh apple. You do get some florals, but it's not like overly much. It's just lightly sweet. Jeremy actually really likes this one. I have used this quite a bit on days where I just want fresh. I want fresh, fruity, but not overly like tropical punch. I really do like this one. I actually have a decent dent in it already, considering how much other fragrance I have. All right, also listed as available, I'm just realizing here that my label is on here a little crooked, is White Honey and Amber. I should have probably been showing you all of these because they do really have some cute imagery. Look at that honey one. That is super cute. I should have been showing you all of them. My apologies. You can see the labels online. White Honey and Amber is said to have peach, mandarin blossoms, gardenia blossoms, honey, pink amber, and vanilla woods. I do believe that this is perhaps off of a Bath & Body Works, but I'm not sure. Okay, so there is something about this. The honey in this is almost like honeycomb. Like you get that waxiness, or like, yeah, not even honeycomb, like beeswax. That's what it is. Beeswax. You get that waxiness and the florals. This and the peach, it's like peach pit. That's, I think, where I'm getting that beeswaxy vibe. Peach pit, honey, floral. There's something about this. I don't not like it, but I don't like it as a fragrance on me. I have actually been using this as a room spray. To me, and I think it's because of that like peach pit beeswax kind of vibe, it just smells like a candle to me. It smells like a candle. I don't want to smell like a candle. So it's fine, because honestly, I don't know that I could get this much room spray, like this much of a concentrated room spray for $14. I'm not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. All right, this last one, again, I'm pretty sure is off of a Bath & Body Works scent. This is Frozen White Birch, and this is white birch, damp oak moss, fresh mint, eucalyptus, sweet juniper berry, and sparkling cassis. There's a lot about this that sounded amazing, and a couple things that sounded like they might steer me wrong. Anytime there's mint in something, I'm a little scared. Anytime there's eucalyptus in something, while I like it, I think it can be very overpowering. This smells so good. This smells so good. Again, I could see this having a Bath & Body Works vibe, but it doesn't have that weird thing at the end. They're doing a really good job over here, I'm telling you. I know, I could see some people being like, Kelly, again, this is a candle, this is a room spray. I'm not mad at it. I am probably gonna pair this with Ellis Brooklyn Apres. There's something a bit sweeter to this. It doesn't quite have that like lightly smokiness that the Apres does. I could see pairing this with some really nice citruses this fall and winter. Cozy. Like, I could see putting this on at night if I'm gonna sit down. Jeremy and I are gonna be snuggling up in the winter, watching a movie, and I just want like winter cozy vibes. Absolutely happy to have this. 4 ounces of it for 14 bucks. You couldn't go wrong. I am mad at myself now for looking at the site, because now I'm like, maybe I should see what else they have left. Clearly 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 right here just from this brand. I don't need anything else right now. But I hope that that little mini review, not that it was so mini, but I hope that it was helpful. Let me know if you've heard of Dirty Soul Soap Company. New to me. I am definitely going to be keeping an eye out on scents in the future. I did want to take just a moment to give you a little heads up of some of their new releases. So quickly going through, you have Sugared Violet, Wicked Apple, Vodka on the Rocks, which is a Killian dupe. We have Vanilla Sugar, Vanilla Coconut, which is supposed to be a KLE dupe. Twilight Woods, obviously Bath & Body Works. Then they have some fun signature scents, their own like Toasted Marshmallow Martini, Toasted S'mores, which is a Bath & Body Works, Vanilla Dreams, which is a KLE, like so many of these in here. Toasted Coconut Mocha, that sounds good. That's Bath & Body Works. So quite a few in here. Again, Victoria's Secret is, I mean, a brand that I don't really support all that much anymore, but also they have that weird thing at the end where it's like, you know, like their body sprays or something there. There is just something there. But like you have Strawberry Sugar, which is a Fleur dupe. Definitely would recommend looking through if you are looking for, especially if you're looking for some body sprays, you know, these Perfume mists. If you're looking for something to go with a fragrance that you already really love and enjoy, that could be a fun way. But check them out. Like I said, I mean, out of, how many did I say here? 10? Out of 10, we have really one that I just wouldn't wear, but that I know that someone would enjoy. For me, it's just not what I was looking for. And one that, while I'm not gonna wear it, I'm enjoying it as a fragrance mist around the house. So that is going to be it for Dirty Soul Soap Company. Now we're gonna move into Dua. Here I have a few, not as many as what I got in the Dirty Soul, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 scents, so let's get started. As we are dipping into Dua, I did just want to say, if you enjoy the makeup on my face and you are wondering what it is, this is a look that I filmed earlier today for a makeup play date. So I have a few new things that I'm trying out. If you want all the deets, you want to hang out with me as I get ready, you can go ahead and check that video out. I'll make sure to have it down, posted down in the comments down below. All right, so Dua, as I'd mentioned, I do already have my first haul and review up. I did take the time, by the way, as in this video and in that one, to wear each of these for quite a while before I gave my opinion at the end. So it was more a review rather than just first impressions. And that's going to be the same here today for the most part. Okay, so one of the things that I was excited about is they actually had the Dua Solos back in stock. And so that is, by the way, they come packaged like this, and that is the little travel sizes, which is great. I think, especially for a brand that is launching things all the time and honestly capitalizing on people wanting all of the things, it's nice to have this option. Now, they aren't available in everything, but I think that they are available in quite a few scents. And I think that it's a great way to be able to try something in case you're just not quite sure. Even though the price on even the full sizes is pretty good, why not get a little travel size if you're just not quite sure? The only thing is I don't love the packaging quite as well. Obviously, you're not getting any of the art. You're just getting the Dua insignia and then like a sticker with the name. So you can see here, we might as well go through this one. This is Ajwa Dates Milk. All right, so this little guy was $22.50 at full price. Again, I did shop during a sale. Usually you can find one. I do also have a discount code, so I will make sure to have everything linked down below for you. I will receive a commission if you use my affiliate link. Thank you so much if you do, but please don't feel like you need to. And again, I'm going to be giving you my true and honest thoughts, which you will probably figure out as we get into here. So the notes on this are Ajwa dates, creamy milk, and vanilla. So I was looking up these dates, and it's a type of date. A lot of us know of the medjool dates. This is supposed to be like the magical date. Like it's supposed to have all of these like healthy properties, and I think it's just found to be like the extra elegant date. I could be wrong, but that's sort of like what I got from it. So this is definitely, oh, this is going to be so good on its own. Also a very good layerer. Wow, layerable. I'm gonna go with that because that sounds a little bit better. Layerable. This is creamy. It's a little bit sweet, but it's a rich sweet. It's not like a sugar spun cotton candy sweet. Again, it's a little bit more depthy and earthy. Like, and I don't mean like funky. I don't mean like it's got like patchouli in it. It just, you know, dates have that earthier scent to them. Like even I would say earthier than honey, you know, like still nice and rich. It's so good. So good. You definitely have to like vanilla because you're going to get some vanilla in here, that lactonic feel and that creamy vibe from the dates. So, so good. I'm glad I got this one. This is one that I probably could have gotten in a full size, but because it is so sweet, I think a little bit is going to go a long way. And I have had these ones, by the way, for quite a while, so they have definitely been able to macerate. I wanted to get this up sooner. It's just so many things going on, and honestly, fragrance content just is not doing that well. I did a summer scents video, and y'all, at the time that I'm filming this, that video is still under 100 views. I was like, ooh. But that's okay. I love talking about scent, so I'm here doing it anyway. Here's one that I do wish that I'd gotten the full size of. Can you see how I already have made a good dip in this? Because I've worn this quite a bit. I actually did share this, I think in my summer scents video, actually. This is Hallie the Shooting Star. It is an inspired by Hallie by Tiziana Terenzi, and I think it's like Hallie's Comet or something. I think that's actually the full Tiziana Terenzi fragrance name. But I was talking about how I was reading the notes on this. Jeremy absolutely loves Orion from Tiziana Terenzi. I gifted him that after getting it in Scentbird at one point in time. So I just love the blends that this brand has. I just was like, if it's anywhere near as good as that, I'm gonna really like this. But if it wasn't, I was like, I just don't know. So I went with this. The notes here are passion fruit, cassis, rose, lemon, peach, raspberry, floral notes, green notes, cinnamon, musk, vanilla, woody notes, and amber. That's a lot, right? That's a lot. It sounds like you just put everything in one mixing pot and stirred it all up and poured it in. But this really does have a lot of nuance. I will say, I get the citrus. It's, again, lemon can be very tricky for me. This does not smell like cleaning products. It smells a little sweet, a little lemony. You get a bit of that fruitiness. There's something almost like bubbly and effervescent on my nose, which is one of the reasons why I like wearing this. It's like creamy yet sparkly. I'm not sure. That could be within the passion fruit. It could be within some of these florals. The green notes are there. It keeps it from being like too strong. You get woody notes in here. I get a little bit of the amber at the end. I don't get a lot of the vanilla. I mean, I guess you get that. You get that like creaminess, but it's not like overly vanillic. This is very nice. It's very complex while being fresh, which is sort of hard to find sometimes. So I'm really liking this one. So while I only have the small size right now, I am okay with that because I have so many scents, but I could have seen getting this one in a full size because this travel size, again, is $20. And then the full size, which is 34, is 55. So I could have saved 30-ish%, but that is all right. I am happy with having this. Again, though, I was talking about the packaging and I got derailed there. So the packaging is just, it's not as fun or as cute. Also, the sprayer on this, I don't love these sprayers. don't love these sprayers. So it's not as nice as the sprayer on this. Knowing now how I feel about the package difference and the sprayer difference, I think if there's a fragrance that if I know that I like it, I'm probably just gonna get the full size because I can always decant into a smaller travel size if I want to travel with a smaller size, but the sprayer on this is just, it's just kind of disappointing. This just sort of comes out like wet, you know what I mean? Like it's not like a beautiful mist, it's like, you know, like window cleaner or something. It's not horrible, it's just not as nice as the other sprayers. So that's just me being kind of picky, but I did just want to make note of that. Okay, we might as well talk about this fragrance that I've been like waving around. So this is Honey Lace Tobacco. I'll go ahead and give you a little shot here. So this is based off of Kilian's Back in Black. Now I have a sample of the original scent from Jennifer from All Feisty. We were talking about scents. We have some similarities. She's like, oh, I'm gonna send you some to try. And dang it, of course I would end up liking it because first, it's Kilian, so it's fairly expensive. So I was like, I have to see. I still have some of that sample left, but I have to see if this is close, if it's close enough to like replace it. It's close. It's quite close. Is it close enough to replace it? I'm not sure. I mean, it's very close. It's maybe just not quite as refined. There's a strength but yet a softness to that one. Now it's interesting because Dua says that this is masculine / unisex. I guess there's something to, and it's probably like the saffron in here that makes it feel a little bit more masculine. I don't know. Anyway, let me give you the notes. So we have bergamot, white honey, raspberry, blue chamomile, cardamom, coriander, saffron, tobacco, cedarwood, vanilla, almond, vetiver, cistus labdanum, patchouli, and oak moss. So we have a few scent notes in here that can lead people down a path of loving something or not. Cardamom and coriander can be something hard to get down with. I would say that vetiver, labdanum, even patchouli, you know, so we have definitely some strength in this scent. There is something about this. I get almost licorice and tobacco and honey. It is quite a strong one. This is one that I think you could layer with more vanilla. You could use something a little sweeter, but there is just something so darn sexy about this. This one really makes me feel like I'm a badass woman. Don't mess with me. I've got sex appeal. I am in charge. Like this is one that like gives me that vibe. This is definitely for me date night or a time where I'm not going to be really close to people because it is really strong. It's close. I'd say it's about 80% of the way to the Kilian, which for the price difference, this is $55. Kilian's a lot more. It's a lot more. So I really like this one. I am not sure. I am not sure what I will do when my little Back to Black is gone, if I will purchase it or not. We will have to see. But this is a good one to get if you like the vibe or if you smelled that one and you're like, I just really want those vibes. It's close. It's not quite the same, but it's close-ish. Okay, I will also say, you know, we all talk about how like Dua scents last a really long time. I find that Back to Black lasts a long time, so I don't need it to have more lasting power, but this one actually did have good lasting power, so I wanted to make a note. All right, so my next two are also Kilian dupes. Not intended to get 3 Kilian scents or duped scents. And it's ridiculous that I had to buy both of these. So I got Pomme Trompe and Pomme Trompe on the rocks. So of course we have Apple Brandy and Apple Brandy on the rocks. So let's get into the notes of Apple Brandy. I do, by the way, have the original Apple Brandy on the rocks. So I'm wearing both right now to give you my thoughts on both. But we're going to talk about the original Apple Brandy. So this one has green apple, vanilla, cedar, and brandy. I couldn't decide. I didn't feel like I needed to get both of these. I couldn't remember. I had a sample and I could not remember if it was Apple Brandy on the rocks or Apple Brandy, but I really loved it. And I just couldn't decide between reading the reviews on the Dua site and reading the scent descriptions, everything. I just was lost. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to pick up both these. The brand says that the On the Rocks version is supposed to add a freshness to the original. So I just gave you the notes of the original. Now, On the Rocks has cardamom, bergamot, rum, apple, pineapple, brandy, vanilla, moss, ambroxan, and cedar. If we think about the original having green apple, vanilla, cedar, and brandy, I was kind of like, that just almost sounds like it's going to have more of an apple vibe to it though, because all of the other scents, I was like, I just really want something kind of appley. And I was like, darn it, I cannot remember if I had apple brandy on the rocks or apple brandy sample, and I couldn't find it anymore, which is sad because I don't think I actually used it up. So the Pomme Trompe, it's just so darn woody. It is very woody. Like the cedar in here, it's like 80% cedar with a little bit of green apple. I don't really get vanilla in here at all. I get the booziness. I get that alcohol-y brandy vibe. This is, I would say, because it is hyper woody, I would say that this one is more masculine. Now, if we look at the Pomme Trompe on the rocks, we get into, but again, see here I was like, okay, cardamom to me can spell kind of spicy, smell. We've got the rum, we've got the moss. So I was like, is this one going to smell more masculine? I was just like, I want the one that's going to be like lighter and fresher. It is this one. It is the apple brandy on the rocks. Now, does it smell like the original? I actually have one on each arm here. Now, I will say that the Dua is probably lasting longer. And just so that you know, the full size of the Dua at full price is $60. I actually found this Kilian Apple Brandy on the Rocks at the cosmetics company outlet for $30 on mega discount, like 40% off. For, what is this, 10 mls probably? Because you could definitely get a sale on the Dua for pretty darn close to that same price. So we have two things to talk about here, right? Which do I like better out of the two Dua, and which do I like better between the Kilian and the Dua? So I have the original here and the Dua version here. Are they dupes? On the paper, no, because the Dua gets more of that brightness. You're getting a little bit more of that pineapple. You're getting a little bit more of that like bright fruit. This one is, I'm getting more of the booze. I'm getting the vanilla. You definitely get the brandy, the cedar. I mean, you get cedar out of this too. It's just this one has more of that boozy note to it. So do I have one over the other that I like out of these two better? You know, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I might like the Dua better. I feel like they both dry down pretty close to each other. They dry down pretty close to each other. So that's really interesting. I think that these are a pretty good dupe. It's not exact, but gosh darn, for the price difference, it's pretty close. Now, between Pomme Trompe and Pomme Trompe on the rocks, I definitely would have to say that I like the on the rocks better. It's just brighter. I will probably end up giving Pomme Trompe to Jeremy. I think he would really enjoy that. He enjoys that woody, that boozy. He's gonna like the green apple. So yeah, I would definitely say I like the on the rocks better. I hope that that's helpful in some way. I feel like I've just said woody and apple and on the rocks many times. So we're gonna move on from those. All right, here's one that I think has a cult following. And it's clearly been a favorite because they've also done some of their like hybrids where they mix a couple scents. This is Puffletuft, and this is the original, so it's not one of the hybrids. This is inspired by Hufflepuff by House of Sillage. So this scent, I tell you what, this is closer to what I was looking for in a lemon kind of vibe. You know, I was just talking about in the Dirty Soul Soap Company when I was looking for that like lemon baked goods. It's just this one leans more into the baked good, and then the lemon is at the end. So the notes in this one, you have Italian lemon, coconut, peach, gardenia, freesia, sambac, jasmine, bourbon vanilla, vanilla bean, and Virginia cedarwood. This one, it's out of stock right now. This one, it is like caramelized something. Caramelized everything. Caramelized vanilla, vanilla beans. Like it is so caramelized, it leans into that, you better watch out, it's about to be burnt You know what I mean? It doesn't smell smoky. It doesn't smell burnt, but it's like a little bit of that like toasty marshmallow thing. The lemon, the coconut, I get those. I honestly don't get a lot of florals in this. Like maybe they just kind of balance it out, but I'm not getting florals. It's very rich. It's very yummy. It's very gourmand. So if you love a good gourmand, I would definitely look into this one. Oh my God, they have one that's probably sweetness overload. Puffletuff's White Milk is a hybrid of Hufflepuff and Bianco Latte. So that's a lot. That's a lot of caramelized. That's a lot of gourmand. The other one that is coming soon is, let me see here, Puffletuff's Milky-licious lemon pastry. Ooh, this is a triple. Wow. Okay, so we have Hufflepuff, Blanche Betty, and Bake. Acro Bake. Dang. Okay. It's coming soon. This with Acro Bake. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I might have to do it. I was going to say, I think Do It does too much. I really do. I do think that they do too much. It's really overwhelming. And then when you love something, it's a while before you can ever like get it. Like if you try a small one, you love it. I just feel like a lot of times, good luck ever getting anything again. And I don't feel like they like send out notifications of things, which I wish they did. I wish it's like, hey, you've got this on your wish list. Well, we email everybody when it's back in stock. I don't think they do that. But this one sounds really darn delicious. So this is a tri-brid. What are the notes of this one going to be? Italian lemon, coconut, peach, gardenia, freesia, sambac, jasmine, vanilla bean, Virginia cedarwood, ambret seed, milk accord, mystical, what the heck is that? Jasmine vintage, tuberose petals,
Mahonial, incense, tonka, cacao, musky vanilla, lemon peel, rum, chantilly cream, praline, bourbon vanilla, and brown sugar.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. I don't know. We'll see. I'm overwhelmed just thinking about it. Okay, I've got one more scent to go through here. This is another hybrid. This is a hybrid, and this is Angel Cherry Elixir. You can probably guess from the name. It is Angel Share by Kilian and Lost Cherry by Tom Ford. So I got the one that was Lost Cherry and Princess. So I think it's like Princess Cherry, something like that, in my last do a haul. And I was like, gosh, is that the one that I meant to get? Or did I mean to get this one? I cannot remember. Honestly, I don't know what it was about this that I needed to try this one. I just was going down a vibe where I was like, maybe cherry's my thing. I really don't think cherry is my thing, y'all. Like, I enjoy this. It's just not something that I would probably reach for all the time. I have been enjoying wearing both of the cherry scents that I had gotten more at bedtime because I think Jeremy likes it. I think it's like, ooh, like, because it's kind of girly, you know, so I think he likes me wearing that. The notes in this are cognac, cinnamon, tonka bean, black cherry, bitter almond, cherry liqueur, griotte syrup, jasmine sambac, Turkish rose, Peru balsam, Haitian vetiver, cedarwood, oak, praline, vanilla, and sandalwood. Yeah, this is, it's a little bit more almondy than my other one that I got, my Princess Cherry. This one, yeah, it's got more almond. It also has more powder. It's good. It's good. Is it something that I needed? No. I mean, clearly none of these did I need. So after doing this and being like, I feel like I got some things here that I didn't need. I certainly didn't need both Pomme Trompe and Pomme Trompe on the rocks. So out of that, I probably would keep the on the rocks and not have gotten the Pomme Trompe. I probably would not have gotten the Angel Cherry Elixir. It's just everybody was liking cherry scents, and I'm like, okay, maybe I do too. And now I'm like, I don't love it. Although I have to say, I'm glad that I found out that it's not 100% my vibe by buying things that probably ran me $45 as opposed to $145 or more. Let's face it. Out of all these, I think that because I haven't worn it much yet, but I think I'm really going to, Puffletuff this fall and winter is going to be so amazing. It smells so freaking good. I really like this. It is very sweet though. This is about as sweet as I would want to go. That's about as sweet as I'd want to go. The Honey Lace Tobacco, it was a great way to see if it's going to be replacing my crazy, stupid, expensive Kilian. I don't know if it will. Also, I did not realize that the CCO had Kilian fragrances. So you better believe I was down there digging through trying to see if they had the Back to Black, which they don't. But other than that, I feel like, honestly, this random, the Halle Shooting Star one was the one that I was like, wow, this is really great. But so many of these are sweet, right? So I really haven't been wearing a lot of them through this season. I'm hoping to get more use out of them this fall and winter. And I'm just realizing that I'm like, okay, Kelly, you have a lot of sweet gourmandy things to get through now. So now that I'm talking about it and that new Tri-Bread is coming out, I'm not going to get it. Like, I don't need anything more. I can obviously, because I do at some point want to get Acro Bake. I actually wanted to get the dupe, but it's been a while since that one has been back. But maybe if they're doing the Tri-Bread, chances are that they are probably like making the Acro Bake dupe again. I don't know, but that one has been on my list. I might get that one to try. I would like to get the original at some point. I would like to get a lot of things, but you know what? We only have so much money to spread around, right? Okay, I feel like this is getting rambly. So this is time to cut it off. Like I said, I have a feeling I'm gonna be pretty chill on the Dua. I have a feeling I'm gonna be pretty chill on fragrance for the rest of the year. I have my eye on a few things, but at this point I'm like, it needs to be something that is like unique to my collection. So if it hasn't been on my wish list for a while, or it's something that I don't have anything near, I'm probably not gonna get it because I really want to enjoy what I have. We will see how I do in that statement coming up later this year. I don't know, we'll have to see. So let me know if you have any of these. Let me know if you love them, if you really don't like them, if you had any disappointments. Let me know if you've tried Dirty Soul Soap Company. I'll have links to both Dua and Dirty Soul linked down below for you. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. I will see you really soon.